This revision video is looking at sources and reasons for moral behaviour. So what we're looking at here is basically how Christians would know the right choices to make in life. Now Christians aim to be more like Christ every day of their lives, because if they know that they are being like Jesus, like Christ, then they know that they are doing the right things. And actually some Christians will even have a reminder that they wear in the form of a bracelet saying, "What would Jesus do?" or WWJD, with that constant reminder to try and act like a good person, follow those beliefs and teachings of Jesus. Now we know that life involves problems and issues very much in everyday life. And I suppose Christians are left with a dilemma, well, how do I know to choose the right actions and not the wrong actions? Now there is some guidance for Christians. They do have three sources they can use. Firstly we have the Bible, then they've got the ideas of their conscience, and also the examples of Jesus. First we've got the Bible. Think of the Bible like a big guidebook to life, because within it there are rules and laws, but there's also advice and there is guidance. What type of advice, guidance, laws and rules are there? Well, let's take the rules first of all, and laws. We've got 10 commandments in Exodus 20. Things like do not kill, commit adultery are in there. Then we've got Jesus. Jesus gave a lot of advice and guidance. And actually he even gave some commandments like Matthew 7:12, the golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated. So Christians would try to take that belief and put that into their everyday lives. Now stick with Jesus, because Jesus also gave us the parables, which were his teachings, his stories used to help people to understand what to do in certain situations, and hopefully how to apply these into other situations, like when he told the story of the Good Samaritan, for example. The point he was trying to say was, help anybody who needs your help. Also within the Bible there are teachings like the sanctity of life, so really helping Christians understand the value of human life. So when they're dealing with issues like abortion and euthanasia and suicide, they've got something they can base their ideas on, so some advice and guidance as to how they should act and behave when they're faced with these issues and these dilemmas. The second source Christians might use is a conscience. Now what is conscience? Well, basically that's that inner voice in your head telling you right from wrong. And Christians will tell you that God has given people that sense of right and wrong. How else would people know what to do and how to act and how to behave? There is an instinctive voice inside us that tells us what is right and what is wrong. And Christians will look at this idea of a conscience as almost a way of God communicating directly with us, so helping us and talking to us in our minds to choose the right things to do. So think of it almost like the good and bad, the devil and the angel on your shoulders talking to you, like Homer's got here. Now a great example of this would be Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Now we looked at him back in our peace and justice ethics topic, but he works here as well, because when he was deciding and trying to work out what he should do about the Nazis and the regimes they brought in, the fact he disagreed with them and he wanted them to stop, but they weren't peacefully stopping them, he had to kind of search his own sort of soul and his own beliefs to find out the right way to act and behave. And he actually said, we must be ready to allow ourselves to be interrupted by God, because he believed that God interrupted him and his belief in pacifism to actually act and to use violence in order to get rid of a greater evil in that situation. So a good example of somebody listening to their conscience and it guiding them on how to act and behave. The third source Christians will use is their faith in Jesus and in Christ, and there's examples. So here you look at Jesus. Well, Jesus was a perfect man. He was a role model to others, and that's what his life was. It was for others to follow. His characteristics, well, he was patient. He helped anybody who was in need. Some people didn't like him, but he still helped them. He helped people who weren't valued by society, so some of the lower class people that no one else wanted to help and to treat and to look after. He prayed to God for guidance. He was honest. He valued people above money and possessions. And ultimately, he gave his own life as a sacrifice for his love for other people. Of course, that was his crucifixion. Again, think about the example of Christians wearing those bracelets, trying to act and be more like Jesus, because if they're acting like Jesus, then hopefully they're on the right path and they're doing the right things. So 3 good examples there of Christian sources for moral behaviour and how to act in the right way.